Welcome to the Soul Call with Kelly B. I'm Kelly Butchart, soul medicine woman, energy alchemist, intuitive guide and change maker. I'm here to activate soul remembrance, unlock purpose, and support the personal and collective evolution into sacred sovereignty. This podcast is a space for heart-led women to rise, to take their power back, to walk in truth and live elevated lives of joy, abundance and deep fulfillment. Through powerful conversations with visionaries, way-showers and spiritual leaders, we weave ancient wisdom, quantum healing and divine insight to awaken something within your soul. This is more than a podcast, it's a movement, a remembering. This is the Soul Call. All of my offerings, social links and ways to connect are in the show notes below each episode. Be sure to check them out, I'd love to meet you there. And please remember to like, subscribe and share. Thank you for being here. Hi everyone and welcome back to the Soul Call with Kelly B, the space where we talk about living, learning and leading with soul. Today I am so excited to introduce my guest, Tina Pavlou. Tina specialises in self-mastery and empowering souls to live happy, healthy, vibrant and free. She is the founder of the Goddess Rooms and has worked with people all over the world, from multi-millionaires and visionary female entrepreneurs to high-profile celebrities, guiding them to feel empowered, liberated and ready to create miracles in their lives. Tina's journey has been shaped by training with world-renowned teachers such as Fiona Steibel, Bob Proctor and Tony Robbins. With over 15 years of deep exploration into the meaning of life and purpose, her work is heart-led, rooted in integrity and fueled by her passion to serve. She facilitates powerful global workshops and retreats, from holistic juice cleanse immersions and awakening sacred sexuality to balancing the feminine and masculine energies and clearing ancestral and patriarchal conditioning. Tina is also the creator of Goddess, embodying the light and dark, a profound modality that activates your unique soul blueprint, clears lineage and trauma, and supports you in fully embodying the goddess through the alchemy of love, power, and ancient feminine womb wisdom. I can't wait for you to experience the depth of this conversation. So let's dive in. Tina, welcome to the Soul Call with Kelly B.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm so excited to have you here. I know I raced through your introduction there because I'm so desperate to get on to this conversation with you. Now, not only have we heard that you do goddess work, you work with the goddess frequencies. For those of you that are tuning in on Spotify and Amazon and Apple and can't see this beautiful woman in front of me, for those of you that are on YouTube, you will see this radiant, beautiful soul that's sitting in front of me. Tina, it's just such an honor for you because I know that you're such a busy lady to take time out of your busy schedule to come on here today, glowing as you are, to share your journey, your wisdom, your truth with those of you that are tuning in today. So thank you for being here. I want to start by just acknowledging how you came into my life recently. And I'm so grateful. The universe just works in so many beautiful, magical and mysterious ways. And it was through a friend of a friend who introduced me to yourself. So the beautiful Rochelle Carslake, thank you so much, Rochelle, for introducing me to this wonderful goddess that's here today. She said, Kelly, you will love this woman. And I do, because I've started to work with you and I know I know the depth of the wisdom and the magic that you share, Tina. So, Rochelle, thank you for introducing me to Tina. And Tina, we're here now to have this beautiful conversation. So, welcome again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, Tina, we heard in the bio there that I shared that you are doing all sorts of work, from goddess work, sacred sexuality work. You have this beautiful, I'll call it a second home probably for you, the Goddess Rooms, which is based down in, is it Margate in
Like
Kent?
Broad stairs. Broad stairs.
Broadstairs
Yeah.
in Kent.
Uh-huh.
So I've not been lucky enough to come and visit you in person yet in the Goddess Rooms, but you also do work online as well, and you've got many clients all over the world. I
Mhm.
want to start right at the beginning. I want to hear a little bit more about what your journey has been like, what has led you to being Tina Pavlou, this version of Tina, the goddess Tina, and how she's showing up in service for the world now. So I'm happy for you to share whatever you are comfortable and happy to share. What has that journey been like for you?
Okay. Thank you, Kelly, for such a beautiful introduction. So, my journey has been quite a roller coaster. And I have experienced several dark nights of the soul. I choose not to dwell on the past. If something, my one of my wordings is if it's broken, fix it, right? So, and everything is fixable or fixer outable, as we call it at work. So, I came from two parents that were immigrants, and I was born in the East End of London and brought up in London, and moved to the coast when I was about 10 or 11. And grew up with very tough parents. They were hard workers, always working, and I was very, very sensitive, very psychic from a very young age of 4 years old. The first vision I ever saw was Mother Mary at 4. And I remember seeing something at 8. I was seeing the future, and I didn't actually understand what it was until I got to that time in my life. So I've always been connected, but didn't really want to be connected. I wanted to be connected to the rest of the people. I wanted to fit in. And that led on to a crazy journey. And I became, I wouldn't say I became an addict, but I took a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, and it made me feel good. And when when I became 30, enough was enough, and my brain just frizzled out, and I had the complete burnout, and I knew that I couldn't go on like that. So I'm just giving you little bits and pieces of my life. I won't go into stories because they're just stories. They're not, it's over. Every part of me has brought me to who I am now. So every part of me that I've experienced polarity of light and dark has brought me to another version of myself. So that's what I want to really concentrate on. So I got into the usual Reiki and doing my readings when I was in my 30s, and I thought that was spiritual. I thought that was it. You meditated every day. You did this, you did that. Then one day I had a dream. And in the dream, I was driving in my car all the way down a motorway, and all the cars were driving down the motorway. We were all going the same way. And then all of a sudden, this big black Mercedes car, big thing, went the other way. It drove past me. And I was like, what's going on? What's this person doing going the other way? They're going to get hit by all the cars. And as I turned to look into the window of this car, I saw Vienna Stibel. And all of a sudden, my car swung in the middle of the road and followed this woman. And I woke up in the morning, I was like, what is this? So I'd heard the name Vienna Stibel, and it was really bizarre. And I thought, what is this? I left it. And then a friend of mine introduced me to a theta healer for a session. And when she introduced me to this woman, she started to talk about Vienna Steibel. And of course, I'd already met Vienna Steibel in a dream. I'd seen her, and my car had turned round to follow her. So then I was like, oh, and this woman said to me, would you like to learn theta healing? And I said, yes, I would. And that night, I had another dream. I was grown up, but I was in a brown and red school uniform. And I was just about to start private, the most exclusive private school, like the Swiss school for young ladies. It was that exclusive, right? And I was just about to start this private school, and that was it. And then the next day, I began my theta healing journey. And I realized what it meant was I was to unravel all of the old in my belief systems, my programs, my unconscious mind, the undercurrent, the survival self, and to unravel not only a lifetime of traumas and belief systems and genetic belief systems and stories that you pick up from the TV, how things are meant to be, the way I'd lived my life. I had to unravel this all through theta healing. So, theta healing is a modality that we're able to connect to source and go in and pull out the beliefs that no longer serve you, that are creating a life that you do not wish to have, to create a life that you do have, that you do wish to have. So, I started this journey, and as I started this journey, I found it wonderful. But I also felt that I was still unworthy to do this kind of work, that everybody was better than me. But that was a belief program that was ancestral. So I continued to do the work, and I never told a soul for 2 years. I didn't tell anybody. I would work in the day. I would do my clients in the evening, and then at weekends I would get on a train and I'd go to London. That's it. This is before Zoom time, and I would do all my courses. And I kept doing it, and I never wanted to be an instructor ever. I promise you. I remember saying that I'm never gonna teach this. I don't want to teach this. All I want to do is to go in and I want to heal myself because I'd been through so much trauma, so much betrayal, so much honestly, it was horrific, the things that I'd experienced. And I really mean horrific. And if you can go layer after layer down, they were awful. But I knew that my life had to change. So I dedicated myself. And what did I learn through that? I learned dedication. I learned the virtue of devotion. I learned the virtue of resilience, which is probably one of my strongest virtues. Because we create everything in our life, right? And I mean everything in our life through the belief systems that we have in the unconscious mind, right? You can sit down and you can say as many affirmations as you want. And of course, after time, you're going to believe it, but still in the back of that unconscious mind is the original belief. So it can rear its ugly head. And as humans, we like to avoid a lot. Okay. And doing this work, it's messy. You're jumping in, you're getting them out. But I want you to know that when you're pulling them out, it's never as painful as they were when they came in. But you asked me a question about why do I do this work? I do this work for myself because I will never go backwards. I do this work for my beautiful family because every time I heal myself on another level, or I believe that the word healing has been thrown around and it's actually watered down. People are doing all sorts of drugs and telling you that they're healing, and they're not, by the way. But there's healing, deep healing. The way to deep heal is by clearing your unconscious mind out, subconscious mind, the undercurrent, the current self, clearing all of that, and then clearing the body out. because the body holds the toxins and the memories, especially the muscles and the viruses and the bacterias and your childhood vaccines, and all of that is within the body, all heavy metal toxins. That all carries a frequency. So I went on this journey. I call it the algorithm of life. I went on this journey and I began to self heal, okay, which was messy. And then I was working from different places, and somebody approached me and said, "Would you like to have the goddess rooms here?" And I said, "Yes." Now, they actually didn't say the goddess rooms, they just said, "Would you like to open up your center here?" And I said, "Yes." And I was driving down the road, and it was 2018, and it was 6 o'clock in the morning on the 21st of June, and I was holding my first goddess retreat in Glastonbury. And I was listening to Rebecca Campbell's Rise, Sister Rise. And as I was driving past Stonehenge at 6 a.m., I was listening to the Magdalenes. And as I listened to the Magdalenes, this energy of pure love came in to my car and around my body. And I looked out of the window at the stones and I thought, oh, I can feel all the love coming off the people on the stones because it was summer solstice. And of course, it wasn't. What it was the energy of the Magdalenes. And they had embraced me in love. And then I heard a voice, and the voice said, "Call it the goddess rooms." And then I knew that the goddess rooms was gifted, or it was a co-creation from the Magdalenes, from the energy of the divine feminine. So that is where my work began, with the divine feminine and the healings and the sacred womb. So I'm just going to stop there and go back a bit here. Just before my theta journey, I went to a friend's house for some angelic Reiki. And as I went for this angelic Reiki, she placed her hands onto my stomach. And as she placed her hands onto my stomach, I saw my mum, my auntie, my sisters, my nieces, my daughters, all my female cousins. And then I saw a woman approaching me with a white turban, and she felt like she was a guide. And she came and she said, "You are healing the divine feminine line." I didn't understand because I'd never really done this kind of work before. I was just up for a little bit of Reiki to make me feel better on a Monday morning. And so when it all started to unfold, this was all predestined. Okay, this was all predestined. So it went on, and that's what the journey was. I created a beautiful course called the Priestess Codes that went on. You can see my oracle cards. Then we went on to do the Dark Priestess, which I was shown. And then I had this energy and this feeling to put them on the shelf and to integrate everything that I know in the goddess work. And I was shown goddess, the embodiment of light and dark. And we do walk the path of the goddess. I do walk the path of the goddess, and so does my team. And it is a beautiful path, although there are some pretty tough initiations along the way, which are really tough, right? But they were all for our strength and our resilience. That's what they were for. And so that we could see past the illusion, and we could see people's brains, how they worked and operated, their lack, their scarcity, their negativity, their jealousy, their envy. We could see this because of the levels that we had grown and have grown. So we're going to put that there. Then the Magdalenes, I'm going to go back to theta healing. So if everybody can keep this in this little circle, you'll understand. And welcome to my head, by the way. So you will be able to see this. Now, I started that. So that was the goddess work. Back into theta healing. I still teach all the theta healing courses. I'm a certificate of science and training to be a philosopher at the moment. So my journey of theta healing is evolving all the time. You know, I do teacher training courses. I did a teacher training course last week. Teacher training courses are evolving every couple of months, and I'm on another course and I'm going, why do I do it? Because I do it because I want to evolve. Why do I do it? Because I want to keep on evolving so that my family can evolve. Okay. So this is the journey of theta healing. This is the journey of the goddess rooms. This is the journey of my goddess work and how that came. So yeah, it's been incredible. There's many parts to it, many parts to it, but I just wanted to share that with you.
What an amazing, amazing tapestry you've woven there, Tina, because
Yeah.
you have all these beautiful threads that you have chosen to pull in on because you touched on that we create our reality. And I use the beautiful analogy when I'm working with clients that we are in the passenger seat. God's always in the driving seat. We're in the passenger seat as a navigator because we navigate. We have divine free will to say, right, we're going to turn left here, we're going to go straight on here, we're going to go right here. So I love how you've even woven in the dream that you had of Viana coming in. And Viana, of course, is the founder of Theta Healing. And
Yes, yes.
as you've touched on, you're now well on your way to become a philosopher and have a certificate of science in this. It's like, wow. There's so many things I want to come back to that you've mentioned here, Tina. I was making little notes as we were
Thank
going. It's
you.
your brain, I appreciate, works exactly like mine. But you've woven it all together so beautifully to explain how your journey has evolved and continues to evolve. And there are so many similarities, although our journeys are individuation is like a we're individual fractals of the Godhead, aren't we? But separation is an illusion because we are all connected. So we're going along in these lives that we think are very individual, but there's always connections because we're connected through the field, through that field of unity consciousness. So, of course, there are similarities with my path. I've had many dark nights of the soul as well, many initiations, as I would call. I had no idea that this was the goddess work that I was going to be evolving into. And I have a course, one of the first that I'd written called Anchoring in the Goddess. So there's so many similarities. It's unbelievable. But I also, my path when I was sort of initiated, if you like, into the remembrance of healing was through my husband's accident. He nearly lost his hand. And then, of course, I rummaged around thinking, there must be modalities out there. I must be able to train in this formally, which led me to Reiki, similar to yourself, and then Angelic Reiki in 2012 for me. And I had incredible visions that opened me up to a whole new level of being as well. I've gone on to train in many other modalities too, and theta healing kept coming to me stronger and stronger and stronger these last 2 years. I knew nothing about theta healing other than I've heard of theta brainwaves. So by divine synchronicities, I was led to yourself and I've gone on and trained with yourself in theta healing. And what I want to acknowledge here, Tina, is your heart. And I'm sure that everybody listening and tuning in will hear the passion that you have, the energy signature that you carry, and the work that you do. You just emanate the goddess. You emanate the divine love that is within you. And as a fractal of the Godhead, it's just bursting out of you. And that's what makes you so magnetic. So I want to acknowledge that first of all, and I also want to say that theta healing has already changed my life in so many ways. And I've only trained in the last few weeks, very, very recently. I've done my basic training with yourself, looking forward to doing the advanced, and I'm looking forward to the journey ahead because it really has changed my life. And one of the things I want to say that has been such a beautiful anchor point for me actually is that we don't hide from the fact that we're talking about God. We are going straight to the seventh plane. We are going to the field of creation. We're going to the quantum field where the Godhead and the God seed within us is like that is the sacred marriage. And other modalities that I've trained in, it's almost like they push, it's like we don't talk about God, we don't talk about source, we don't talk about that creator intelligence. And for me, it's like a coming home. I'm like, this is how it should be. And you spoke about the illusion and the reality, the distortions, the viruses, the corruption.
Mhm.
And so much of what we see playing out in the field is like theatre. It's theatrics, but it's had a real impact on society. So, for example, the religious dogma that has gone on and has distorted and corrupted the goddess, has distorted and corrupted our true relationship with God, with the Godhead. And so I want to thank you personally for the way that you have introduced me into that reconnection with the Godhead that was always there, but I think it's really anchored in so deeply. I would love for you to talk more into what that has meant to you, that connection with Source and how that changes people's lives, Tina.
Thank you. That's beautiful the way you explained that. So, yes, you're correct. God, creator, source, it has been lost. And yeah, and it's sad because when you lose your connection to source, you're in your head and you're easily manipulated. So your connection with source should be the most important connection that you have. All right. Now, I've seen I've actually had Jesus appear to me and perform a miracle for me. And it was a very beautiful experience. It took every time I spoke about it, I cried. I'm okay now, I'm not going to cry, but I cried a lot over it. And my connection with God has been I grew up as a Catholic. And I used to go to church every Sunday. As long as my aunties still go to church most of my aunties in Ireland still go to church every day and Saturdays and Sundays, right? They go every morning, and they do the rosary, and that's beautiful, right? That's so good because the actual thread here is your connection to creator. All right, I'm not talking about the stuff that's been created around religions or the religious boffs that have created their own stuff in there, the patriarchy, I should say. But what I'm talking about is the connection. So when we connect and we pray, we always have an answer and we always receive, right? But we also have to remember that we are the God within as well. So we are co-creating, all right? God is not going to come in and start saving you, all right? Because we have a thing called free agency. And we have come, our souls do come here to experience different things. Although it can be really freaking funky sometimes. I'm like, why did I sign up for this? All right, I'm not doing this anymore. And I've had an argument with Creator, or should I say, I've had an argument with myself because I'm like, I am never coming back down here again. And I'm telling you now, and when I get up there. So yes, I've had those moments like many other people, and like the not understanding. And the connection to creator is the most important thing, right? Too many people are connected to I'm with my guides, I'm with my angels, I'm with my totem animals, I'm with this and I'm with that. You need to like bypass all the levels and go straight to source. And then when you're in source, you can connect to your guides, to your whatever you want to connect to. But go through the energy of the seventh plane first, because there are contracts, vows, promises, and oaths, and rules and regulations on all the planes of existence. Now, the planes of existence is what we learn through theta healing. You have your first plane, seventh plane, second plane, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, right? So your first plane is where all your crystals and the minerals are, okay? And your second plane is where your trees and your elementals and your flowers and your vitamins come from. Okay, so Vianna once asked Creator, "Who's the most enlightened being on this planet?" And Creator said, "The trees." All right, so just think about that. And I connected to trees, and they're beautiful. Then we have the third plane, is where you and I and everyone else is listening to, is the third plane. Animals are here, humans are here. The one thing that this plane has is for proteins. This plane is about proteins, but the one thing that this plane has for us humans, we're the only beings with imagination. So we can create reality through our imagination and everything we want. Now, if our belief systems and all the viruses and the funky stuff in our body is distorting it, then you're gonna create a distorted reality. So then we have the fourth plane. It's where we transition when we pass, and it's like a waiting room. Okay, you go there, you go over your life, and you create more. You're going to come back down. You help your families, and also we are multidimensional beings, so we're having many many parallel lives at once, right? Then we have the fifth plane where we have the plane of duality. The plane of duality, you have your light and your dark, but you also have the darks down the bottom. You also have this beautiful light where your masters, your goddesses live, where live, dwell, abide. The angels, all the levels of the angels are there. Then we have the sixth plane. This is the plane of it just is, right? This is the plane of where the laws of the universe are. So you can connect into that, and the alchemist, you can connect into that energy and you can create with the laws of the universe. So people are tapping in to the law of attraction, right? And I'm saying, well, if you go a little bit higher, the law of attraction is a mighty, mighty law. But if you go above that, you've got the law of action and the law of wisdom, and and the law of time is above the law of action, attraction. So there are many laws that you can tap into. Never permit a law to come into your space, though, only in the room. That's another story. Anyway, from the sixth plane, you have your Akashic records. You have all your symbols, your light language, sound, electric, like all the frequencies and vibration is in the sixth plane. So, like, for example, Beethoven channeled the law of sound, the law of music, the law of vibration, and he channeled that. The man was deaf and he made the most beautiful music. Okay, so Tesla channeled the law of electricity. All right. And the law of vibration as well, by the way. So there are many people that can connect to these laws. So from there, we go up to the energy of the seventh plane. This is the energy of creator, the quantum field. We connect, we create, we bring that unconditional love, and we manifest our dreams. Now, we do have like a council of 12. Every soul family has a council of 12, and they're the beings that you work with. Okay. So when you pray, sometimes you'll see some people go, "Oh, I've got a native Indian," or "I've got this." We have different guides that come in at different parts of our lives and different times of our lives, right? I have the most amazing Aboriginal man that steps forward when I ask questions, and he's huge, really, really beautiful. And there's lots of. But when I first started, I remember seeing like my journey. I remember seeing a native Indian, and I've seen that I've had lifetimes there. Usually, when these beings come through to assist us, we've usually had lifetimes with them, or it can be us on another timeline helping us. All right. So the real beauty here is don't give your power away. All right. We don't pray to our guides, right? We pray for assistance in what we're creating, but we don't pray or give our power to anything else. All right. Just creator, I surrender. Let's do this together. But it doesn't mean that you give yourself away. You have to have self responsibility. And the reason we come here is because we learn virtues to ascend, but we also have to learn self mastery. Not everyone's going to make it this time, but you'll come back in another timeline and you'll do this again and you'll do it in a different way. Okay. We accumulate, excuse me, we accumulate virtues. And, through theta healing, we're able to go through the quantum field and go back and forth in different lifetimes and also go and meet ancestors and pick up their virtues and bring them in. So, working with God is incredible. And I want to share two things with you. The first time I heard God really, really clear, and I mean really clear, was this frequency that came in. I can only say to you, it came in this way. And it was a frequency of pure light, of love. Couldn't see it, but I felt it and heard it. And you are always protected, my dear. And that's what I got. Because I was like, am I being protected here? And then the shift, you are always protected, my dear. And the love went through me. And it was so clear. And I knew that was actually God. I knew there was no guide. I knew it was God, right? And it was beautiful. I mean, there have been many, many times when I've met angels and things like that, but that was so special. And then I want to share this um, interaction with Jesus. I've met many guides and through my lifetime, but this was so profound. I became very I so last year I had a epiphany about my health, and I wasn't sick. I was just like, I am attracting some really negative situations into my life, right? And I stopped and I looked and I was like, why am I attracting these certain things into my life? It's got to be within me. So I made a decision to clean my body up, pristine clean, meaning belief work. And so every single morning at 5:30, a friend and I got online and we did a cleansing and we did a belief work. And I started to cleanse my body out as well. And so in December, I went over to Bali and did 21 days cleansing, juice only. And I felt incredible. Then I went to the Blue Mountains and I taught theta healing there in Australia. And then from there, I went back to Sydney and I sat a deep, intense psychosomatic course. During that course, we learned trauma release. So they did trauma release. Now, 2 weeks before the course, where I was so clean in the body, I heard my body for the first time in my life say to me, trust me. And I was like, what? That's my body. I've just had my body talk. My body actually said, oh my God, that's my body. That's my body. Oh my God, that's my body. It was amazing. And so I did. And I did this trauma release. And within 24 hours, I started to feel like I had been hit by a bus, like I had COVID or something. And I became sicker and sicker and sicker. And I had a fever and it was horrific. And I was ill. It didn't matter what I did, I was sick. And I kept hearing the energy of TB. I was like, oh my God. So I was laying on a sofa in a friend's house, and for 4 days I was watching The Chosen, which is a series on Netflix about Jesus' life. Now, it's not the normal story, it's a story told through his disciples. And it is incredible. For anyone that is interested, I truly recommend The Chosen, right? Everyone I've suggested it to has called me on, like, they're like, my God, that's incredible. And I got up on the fourth day and I said to Jesus, because we witnessed him doing instant healings on the TV, and I was so tired. I said, Jesus, you've just healed all those people on The Chosen and on the TV. I need help. I need you to help me. And I went to bed. And at 20 to 2 that morning, I was woken up by Jesus being in the room. He placed his arm, now I feel like I'm going to cry. He placed his arms around me and he said, your fever is now broken. And it just stopped. I knew it was Jesus. And I went in the kitchen and I made myself some water, and I could feel the difference instantly in my body, although I still was very sick. And then I left Australia and went on to Bali again because in my head I was going to go and juice for another 2 weeks before I came back to the UK. And I couldn't. I got sicker and sicker, but with no fever. And what was happening was another time I was actually in that time I was actually on a teacher training course with Vienna. So it was really helpful that I was very, very sick and doing the healing. And I came home and I just wasn't recovering. And I went to the hospital and I asked for a doctor, excuse me, I asked for a doctor to help me. So I had to go to hospital. And when I turned up at the hospital, this doctor came out, a really beautiful doctor, and he sat down with me and I told him the whole story. And he said to me, he shut the door and he said, "Are you vaccinated?" I said, "No." And he shut the door and said, "Good, neither am I." And then he went on to tell me exactly about the toxins in the body, which was horrific. So that journey from Jesus to this doctor was amazing. He then diagnosed that I had pneumonia and sinusitis. And he said, "How did this happen?" I said, "It was from the trauma release." He said, "This is ancestral TB energy." So what was happening was I was clearing, I'd asked last year to clear everything out of my body that was resonating with negative situations, that was drawing it in because I couldn't understand because my belief systems had changed. There must be something in my body. So as I cleared everything out of my body, my situation and everything lifted, my mind became clearer, and my juice cleanses were already booked. And then I went to Italy and to Tuscany and started to share this journey with others. And that's why our retreats are so incredible. People are coming, getting their beautiful downloads through theta healing, cleansing all the body, going on the Rife machine. So we're finding the frequency and the vibration of any vaccinations, any viruses, any kind of stuff that's in your body that shouldn't be there, and ancestral stuff. And we're zapping it. We're getting rid of it. And what's happening, you're coming out of this so much clarity, like, I get it. I get why that person can't hear me when I speak because they can't hear me because their vibration can't hear me because of all the stuff that's going on in their body and because of all their belief systems. So you really get into that and you start to see everything. And the most important thing is your connection with Creator. The most important thing is that you do call in these people to help you if you really need that help. So my connection with God, my connection with Jesus is there. Okay. But I will share this with you. I was having a forking session, which is the tuning forks. And Jesus stood at the end of my couch and he said, "Come follow me." And I said, "No, Jesus, I'm not following you." I said, "We'll work together, but I'm not following you." And you know what he did? He laughed. He was laughing as to say, "That's okay. I knew you'd say that." And that is the truth. And I haven't told anybody that bit because I was like, we're friends. Thanks for helping me, Jesus. I don't need to follow anyone. I need to follow my gut instinct. But Jesus is there for me if I need help. And if he's my homie and he needs my help, not that he needs my help, but if he wants me, I'm here.
What
Yeah,
an incredible share, Tina. Oh my goodness, there is so much there that we could come back to touch on
yeah.
as well. Even the fact that, your GP was a frequency match for you at that
I
point
know.
in time. I
I
mean,
know.
to
I'd
have,
asked for it in the car. I asked for it. I was going, "Now, I'm telling you now, I just need 12 people in A&E. I don't want any more than that. And I want the doctor immediately." And they must have gone, "She needs this." So, yeah, I manifested. Yeah.
and for him to have that level and depth of understanding to
Yeah.
meet you where you're at, to understand that this is ancestral TB.
Mhm.
It's not even your stuff. This is like what you've been carrying, and it's time to let it go and to understand the energy behind all of that. Just incredible. And you touched earlier in this conversation on the priestess codes work that you had written in your oracle deck.
Yeah,
Here
thank
it
you.
is here, which I love. I was doing a reading yesterday with a client, and it was Grandmother Anna that came out.
Which is that's your wishes granted.
Oh, absolutely love the frequency of that. And of course, she was grandmother of Yeshua, of Jesus.
Mhm.
And you're bringing back to me, you mentioned earlier too that you had a vision at 4 years old of Mother Mary. I had one when I was a little bit older of Yeshua, of Jesus, and I was scared. I was really scared, and I asked for it to go away. Now I'm like, come back, come back.
Uh-huh.
But Mother Mary came to me during a near-death experience too, and she just held me in this incredible bliss. And I had a choice to go at that point or to come back. So even at those points in our life, we always have the choice. And I chose to stay and on this part of my journey because, as you've touched on, we are multidimensional beings. So I knew that I'm still doing work in other places and spaces, but I really wanted to continue this lived experience here on earth, to experience the love of my family and to be on this journey with them. I'm so glad I stayed because I'm now meeting people like yourself and, receiving all of these incredible teachings that you so generously share. And this for me is where truth resonates because you're speaking from your lived experiences. And that's where I talk about wisdom is earned, knowledge is learned, and wisdom is earned. And through the other side of these initiations, and you described that, that could have been described as a near-death experience, having pneumonia and, all the other symptoms that you had. I mean, that's scary at the time. And when you're calling out for help, it's like, please help me, please answer my prayers. That is true wisdom when you've come through the other side of that. And that's what you generously share with others. It's like, I know this. I've not read this in a book somewhere. I know this. I have lived through this. And this is also the beautiful work that you bring in through the liberation path, which I'm so delighted to be part of, Tina, because not only are we, we're receiving these incredible teachings of theta healing and all the courses around that, but also we receive this coaching with yourself and with other guest speakers that you bring in. You mentioned the Rife technology that you're now bringing into all of your juicing and cleansing retreats, and we were introduced to Marianne. I would love for you just to share a little bit more about any upcoming retreats that you have available for people to have a look at. I'm desperate to come on one, and I was talking to you about this before our episode today. But what what do those entail, and how can people find more information about those?
Okay, right. I love this. Okay. So, first of all, I'd like to say you can find the information on the goddessrooms.com website. Okay. And I also just wanted to touch on the Oracle cards. Please don't buy them from Amazon because I don't know who's selling them on there and they're selling them at the most ridiculous prices. Just go straight to our website. You'll get the cards from there. Okay. At the most sensible price. Okay. So I just want you to know that they're nothing to do with us. Okay. So let's go back to this. So you can go to our website at thegoddessrooms.com and you will see the retreats. So it will say the unknown retreats. And now our retreats, I want to say that they're more cleansing, juicing resets, right? Or an immersion. The retreat is thrown around a lot, okay? This isn't a retreat. You're not going to sit in a circle and all right? Although you might do a little bit of umming. But what's really amazing is you will come to Tuscany. So we do one in May, one in June. So we're there for summer solstice, and another in September. So when we cleanse our bodies, okay, I really want people to get this. When we clear our bodies of parasites, hooks, tapeworms, and all of that, and liver detoxes, we must always do them in the spring months or at the end of the summer as you cleanse, right? like as you cleanse the ends of the light. And then as you come back, you go into, I'm talking people that live in the northern hemisphere. If you turn it around, okay. So if, for example, if we do have some people coming from Australia for our September retreat in Tuscany, and then they're going to go off, but they're coming into their spring. Does that make sense? So it's their spring. Mind you, saying that, we do have about four people already from England coming on the September one. So in May, your body is ripe and ready. So then um, what we do in these cleanses is next level. We will put you under the machine first of all to see what's going on. There were some people with hepatitis C, but it's all gone now. Okay, that's how powerful it is. So we put you under the machine and then we begin this cleanse, right? But the cleanse isn't just a week long, all right? It's a 3-month protocol. So we come on before the cleanse on a Zoom and you have a group and we give you and tell you exactly what you need to do. So everything's there. You have your own members area because we actually just launching our new app. We have an app and we're just about to launch it next month. So you're able to go in that you've got your own members area. It's got all the courses that you've done, and if you're coming on the cleanse, everything that you need to prepare for the cleanse is in that members area, right? So you will have calls with us and we support you all the way. Then you do your cleanse with us. You should be ready. You must have your colonic, etc., before that. And then when you come out, not only will you have the clarity, the cleanse is amazing. Absolutely next scale. I mean, it is stunning where we stay. We stay in a place that is, there's no humans. So amazing. It's just you guys and girls around a pool. Now the cleanses are open to male and female. You have yoga every morning, breath work. You have yoga nidra and sound in the evenings. You will be given a massage every single day. And then the hardest thing you have to do is to drink the juices, lay around a pool and read. Maybe sleep and read again. Maybe sleep and have great conversations with great people. Okay. So you can go for walks, do whatever you want, but it's in the middle of an olive grove. It's 25 acres of olive trees. On the final day, we will take you down into the beautiful village and we have organized that you meet the locals and we have a Italiano cooking class. So
Wow.
we will make vegan food and we will bring it back and we will eat a beautiful meal on the last night. I'm also going to take you to different places. You want to buy your olive oil from where I'm going to take you. All right. So your olive oil is clean, straight. They make it. It's just everything about it's incredible. I'm in Tuscany at least 5, 6 times a year. I love it. And so that's what you will do. You'll cleanse, you'll clear. Now, when you come back, we still speak to you for at least another 2 weeks as you integrate back into society and how you're feeling when you come back, because you're going to be coming back feeling so pristine clean, the clarity, because all that toxins has gone, it may cause a little bit of overwhelming for you. Okay, it may do that. It may not do, or it may. And if it does, we're there to support you to do some more belief work and to help you clear the rest. They are life changing. Even when I go and do the cleanses, I have to tell you, I actually cleanse at the same time as everybody else. I, yeah, I go through the whole thing with you. Okay. So each time I come back, I've raised another frequency. I've raised another frequency. I've raised another frequency. So the healing retreats are for you internally. Because if we can clear this internal dialogue and these internal squatters living in your body, ancestral virus, all stuff in the organs, if we can just clear that together, right? Can you imagine the quality of your life? So that is so powerful and so passionate I feel about this. And let me tell you why. Because when I was 27 years old and another time when I was 32, I was given a vision of juices, just juices, right? And a friend of mine reminded me on Sunday of that. She said, "Do you remember running into my clinic and saying to me," she said, "you was about 27 and saying, I think I'm going to open up a juice bar. I really like this juicing. Keeps coming to me in visions." She said, "It was never the juice bar, Tina. You were shown the cleanses." And I went back to that moment. I thought, oh my God, I was. So that then tells me that this is part of my divine timing. It was always meant to be. But I just had to get myself back on that journey of self-love, pristine clean, so that I could share it with the world.
Fabulous. How fabulous. It's like,
So cool, huh?
my goodness. And you know, I've heard the testimonials the other evening from some of the girls that were on that retreat, and they were just mind blowing. Like you say, clearing themselves from hepatitis C. They didn't even know they had these conditions. There were no apparent symptoms, but the clarity they now have and the way they feel now is so visible, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the stories about the young lady with the tooth infection and how that was cleared will stay with me forever because I witnessed that.
Yeah,
I witnessed that leave her body. It was absolutely, I believe that was a miracle.
yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness, I just love this and I love being part of your world, Tina, honestly. And this is just the beginning for me. So
Mhm.
I want everybody else to feel, and I know that they will feel the excitement of being in your energy, being around your people, the beautiful work that you've created. For those people that are lucky enough maybe to live close by the goddess rooms or in traveling distance, I know that you've got some upcoming workshops there that people may be interested in. And there
Yeah.
may be other programs that you would like to talk about that are online. So is there anything else that you would like to share, Tina, for people maybe to step into?
Well, tonight, last night we finished Divine Magnetism. That's a once a month course online, which was next level, wasn't it? Absolutely next level.
Amazing.
I know. And then tonight we've got a sacred women's circle where the women come in. It's so beautiful. They have these beautiful kimonos, and we have the beautiful wooden yoni boxes with our herbs, and we are able to do a beautiful steaming session for each lady, and that we meditate together. That it's goddess work. Okay, so we're able to clear our sacral chakras so that we can create even better. So we have this tonight. We have Angelic Reiki on every single week on a Wednesday evening, and Rochelle Castlake teaches the Angelic Reiki. For any of you that know Rochelle, she's incredible. She's the most incredible psychic medium as well. So if you feel the need to have a reading, I highly suggest that you connect with Rochelle. Her energy is just pure. Her and I are so aligned, and we've been really close for about 8 years now, and she really is the real thing. So she teaches the angelic Reiki, Metatron methods, soul midwifery, and all the dates, the new dates for next year will go up on the website next week because we're just creating the dates. We have Qigong classes. We're bringing in next year, which is really exciting. Oh, we also teach wound massage, but we're bringing in really exciting now. We're going to teach, so you can come and learn Swedish massage. Um, what else are we doing? My fascia, Thai massage, all the massages. You will be able to come and learn from the goddess rooms. So we're bringing in this beautiful woman, so we will be able to it'd be more of an academy really for people to come and learn about the body more. Yeah, so we have feminine movement classes. We've got more yoga classes coming in next year. We do sound bowls. I teach some of my theatre classes there, the in-person ones. It's pretty busy. I mean, like it's pretty like today there's someone in there doing sound and massages. I'm in there tonight. You've got the Rife ladies in there tomorrow. So it's constant and it's really beautiful. It's a very sacred energy. We moved in there in January. It's very beautiful. And the people that come, the community that come are amazing. Um, so the in-person, I'm not in there enough, really. I should be. I'm just because I work a lot with my one-to-one clients online and my classes are online. And I'm always reading and learning more. So yeah, the goddess rooms is that. It is a goddess rooms and it's open to male and female and anyone that wants a beautiful, connected community, a sacred community. I will say one thing though. Um, we do not we do not do anything to do with plant medicine or anything on that lower vibration at all. Okay. And so if that is your jam, I wish you well. The people that come in are aligned with source and themselves and the God within.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, before we finish, I would love if you are happy for me to pull a card for you, Tina, today.
Oh, yes, please.
From my own oracle deck, the Soul Call.
Oh,
So I would love to share a message with you as a thank you for coming on today. Oh, there's quite a few wanting to fly out there. We're just going to pop them back in.
oh, so how many fell out?
About five.
Okay.
We'll go for one. Oh, I love this. So, having just returned from the Red Sea and swimming in the Red Sea last week, and my last retreat day was called Bathe in the Crystalline Energies. We have this card for you today, Tina, Healing Waters.
Oh,
Bathe in the crystalline energies. So, I just want to share this message with you and for everybody else here. Visualize yourself stepping into the gentle flow of pure crystalline waters. These sacred waters not only cleanse your spirit, but also connect you to the deep wisdom held within water itself as it carries memory. Just as the waters of the earth hold the stories of time, so too do the waters within your own body. Every drop within you resonates with the experiences, emotions, and energies of your life. As you step deeper into this flow, feel the calming currents wash away the weight of stress, worry, and anxiety. Let the waters cleanse not only your body, but your soul, gently dissolving any burdens you no longer need to carry. Surrender fully to the waves, feeling them bring peace to your mind, stillness to your heart, and harmony to your inner waters. In this moment of renewal, allow yourself to be fully present, open to the healing power of the earth's crystalline waters and the memory held within your own body. As you breathe deeply, feel your body soften and your spirit lift as every drop purifies and rebalances your energy. Know that within these waters, you are safe, supported, and held by the nurturing energies of Mother Gaia. Trust in the process of release and renewal, for each moment spent in this sacred space brings you closer to your truest self, one free from past burdens and open to the beauty of the present moment.
that's beautiful, Kelly. Thank you so, so much.
You are so very welcome. And you know what, a beautiful card to follow on from you talking about cleansing the body, your juicing retreats. And I know it's not just about juicing, you've given a full description of how it purifies and cleanses the body, but just what a beautiful card to to conclude with.
Thank you.
Tina, it's been such a pleasure to have you on today. And I know that we could easily talk, for another hour about all of the magic and the wonderment and the joy, the peace, the bliss, and the harmony that you are creating. This beautiful ripple effect in the world. And, I talk about harmonics all the time, just even beyond the words that you have spoken in this episode, just even the resonance that you're emanating, will be felt in the hearts of everyone that's tuning in. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And Tina, thank you for everything that you do. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
And I will see you very, very soon. Can't wait. Big love. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Soul Call with Kelly B today. If this episode spoke to your heart, I'd be so grateful if you'd take a moment to like, subscribe, or share it with someone who needs to hear it. Your support truly means the world, and it helps this message ripple even further. And if you're feeling called to explore more of my work, my latest offerings, sessions, and ways to connect are all in the show notes below. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, keep listening to your beautiful soul. With so much love, Kelly.